All right, so today we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of the Fender Stratocaster and the Fender Telecaster. They're both iconic guitars, widely used, and we're going to be getting into the differences between the two. They're excellent guitars, and so this one is a Player Series. It's the Fender Mexican Player Series Strat. Really great tone to it. The only modification is the pickguard. Instead of it having the standard black pickguard, it's got this mint green one. And for the Telecaster, the only modification to that one was the pickups. So instead of the stock pickups, I got the Texas Specials. It gives it a little bit more bite, a little bit more volume, and really, really crisp, bright tones, which is what you really want out of that Telecaster. So without further ado, we're going to be getting into the differences. So one, we're going to be getting into the differences of in terms of like the aesthetics, like how the playability of the instrument, how they feel when you're playing live, rehearsals and all that kind of stuff. So for those of you who are more than just, bedroom guitarists, like what are you, like how does it feel when you're actually using the instrument live? And second, we'll be getting into like the actual tones that you can get out of it. So they're both very versatile instruments. They have their different purposes. One's not better than the other. They're just different in terms of what you can use them for and playability and all that kind of stuff. So for both of these guitars, I've used them on my albums, and I love these guitars. They're both amazing guitars that I would highly, highly recommend, but they do have some differences to them in how they play and all that. So without further ado, let's get into it. And if you guys like the content, if you want to hear more about music, things like that, please give us a like and subscribe and comment below on what you guys think is some things that I might have missed in this video. So let's get into it. So first, we'll start off with the Strat. So the Strat has, in terms of its configuration, it's a little bit different than the Telecaster, because the Strat has a volume button, let me turn it down a little bit, a tone, and another tone pot. So these pots, or potentiometers, adjust the brightness or the darkness of the pickups. So in this case, this tone will adjust the brightness for the neck pickup, and this one for the bridge pickup. And then the middle pickup has a different. This is the main difference between these two guitars. That there's the Telecaster, or at least the ones that aren't the Nashville Telecasters, don't have this middle pickup, so you don't have that blended tones. So when you have the pickup selector in the neck position, you have this pickup activated. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Very warm tones, very good for rhythm. You flip it into this position. This is actually like a hum canceling position, because these two work out of phase. So any kind of hum that you might have had when you're in like a distorted mode, or when you're in overdrive, if you're using distortion pedals, overdrive pedals, or the amp's overdrive. In this case, I am mic'd up directly to my amp. So it's a Black Star. It's just set basically on like a clean, but a more dirty, clean channel. So in this setting, it has a bit more of a brightness to it. So here we'll do like a riff. You put it into the fourth position with the neck and the bridge pickup, and you have. Now, people really like this position, particularly for funk. So a guy like Corey Wong really, really loves this position, because you have a more like spanky tone to it. So in the bridge position, just the bridge position, you play like a funk vamp, like. In the fourth position, has a little bit more uplifting to it. It's a little bit, I don't know, the best way that I could describe it is it's got some spank. Now in the third position, it's just the middle pickup. So you're back to a hum cycle. So one of the downsides to having single coil pickups is you're going to have that 60 cycle hum to it when you have a dirty channel. Now, they do have noiseless single coils, but these are essentially just small humbuckers, and humbuckers were designed to have that noise cancellation. So you do have that noise cancellation feature with the Stratocaster that you don't, or you do with the Telecaster, but you have to have the neck and the bridge pickup because there's only those two pickups. In any event, actually, I'm not really sure if you do. That's a good question. I'll look into that one. If you guys know the answer to that one, let me know if there's a hum cycle cancellation to the neck and the bridge position for the Telecaster. We'll get into that later. So middle position, this is one of the most underused, but some people really swear by this position. They love it. And so again, we'll go back to that sissy strut riff. Very middle of the road. So here in the bridge position, you have like middle. So as you can see, it's brighter, but it's not as bright as the bridge position. Now, again, in this position, the second position, you have the middle pickup and the bridge pickup working. So you're going to have that 60 cycle hum cancellation, and it's a little bit more, it has way more brightness to it, and really, really good for funk. So we'll go back to that riff. You go to like a vamp, like a funk style vamp. Just a bridge. Now that's like kind of my favorite, is the neck and the bridge, which was what led me initially to the Telecaster. I was like, well, I only really use the bridge and the neck. So I like the neck. I like that warm tone to it. And I like the bridge tone. It's very spanky, very in your face. You know, and especially once you start getting used to the dynamics of like where exactly you're playing on the bridge, and you know, this is like a technique that I think more bass players are aware of, is that where you play in conjunction to which pickup you have activated really makes a difference in the tone. So, for example, the tighter the closer to the bridge you play, the tighter that sound is going to be. Like. Whereas here, richer, deeper tone, but still has some pop to it. And that's because of where I'm playing. Now if I play over here, not only am I playing directly over the pickup, but it's more loose. And this is really exacerbated when you play with a bass guitar, because that's like where a lot of the tone comes from, is your finger style, pick, but also what pickup you have activated and where you're playing. Same holds true for guitar. Yeah, so over here versus second position. All the way over here by the bridge. Bridge pickup. Very, very different sound. So, you know, when you hear people say like, oh yeah, a lot of tone is in your hands. Yeah, it is. But it's also here. It's also like how are you going to play the sounds? Like where are they going to be coming from in terms of like the position on the strings? And which pickup do you have activated? So a lot goes into like your thought process in terms of tone when it comes to your hands, the bridge pickups that the pickups that you have selected, and then your amp, and then your guitar pedals and all that kind of stuff. So also one of the major differences in terms of the guitar's like aesthetic or things that you might want to know also about the configuration is that the most Strats, if not all of them, will have a whammy bar accessible. So this will just give you this ability to, get that like surf sound, you know. And that comes with a drawback that the bridge is like what I guess they call like a floating bridge. So if I don't even use the whammy bar and I just push down on the bridge, you can get the same effect. But with that, the guitar will fall out of tune a little bit faster than the Telecaster. The Telecaster, you actually rarely ever have to tune the guitar. Well, you should tune regularly, but I haven't tuned this guitar probably in like a couple of weeks. I'm going to pick it up, and it's most likely going to be in like perfect tune. That's how great the Telecaster is at maintaining its tune because it's so flat, and we'll get into that in a bit more. Also, this guitar when playing live has like a different feel to it. It's very, very, very comfortable. If you have this contour over here, it's just so comfortable to play. It's my favorite guitar to play live. If you've seen any of my videos, I'm almost always playing this guitar. That's how much I love this guitar. I also love my Telecaster, but this one has a special place in my heart, especially in terms of playing live. It has a great sound to it. It's easy to play. It's fun to play. One of the drawbacks of playing the Stratocaster live, especially, is how close this pickup selector is. And the pickup selector, as you can see there, if you're playing really especially if you're playing in the neck position, so play like a little funk riff here. As you can see here, the guitar already kind of went out of tune, probably from. Now that's like really bad when you're playing live because like you've already got the guitar set up for like, you've already like had that tone in your head that I'm going to be playing on this pickup. I'm going to be doing like, and then it sounds totally different when you accidentally hit it down. So with that, the Telecaster, you don't really have that issue. As I'll show you in a bit, the pickup selector is in a totally different location. But the other, that's why I was out of tune, because that's another thing you want to watch out for with the Strat is if the whammy bar ends up getting stuck on like one of the pots over here, it'll be out of tune. So yeah, definitely other things that you want to watch out for with it. Now it's more or less back in tune. So. But yeah, it's a great instrument, very fun to play live, really great for recordings. And we'll also turn a little bit of the overdrive on so you can hear how this guitar takes overdrive. So people prefer to use the bridge pickup for overdrive, but you can also use the neck pickup for overdrive as well. So you might get like some of those like really gritty blues tones like. But people tend to more use the bridge pickup because it cuts through the mix better when you're playing with a full band. So you can play a lot more solos, like maybe like my guitar solo or one of my guitar parts from Electronize. You also get really little of those like dirty funk sounds, like also from Electronize. You do that also with the neck pickup. So that actually sounds really good too. It's a different style of like dirty grit, like funk style that I really like. You can get all different types of sounds from it. And then you can also do like a lot of those like Hendrix tones to it you can get from this thing too, like even like Little Wing. He put a little bit of dirt, a little bit of overdrive on the neck pickup. That's where they get that tone from, is like that really Strat sound. Neck pickup, single coil with a little bit of overdrive, a little bit of reverb, and yeah, that's what it is. It's a great guitar. So with that, we'll be moving on to the Telecaster. All right, and over here we got the Telecaster. So as you can see, the little bit of dust that's been collected on this thing, and so just like I said, I probably haven't touched it in like 2, maybe even 3 weeks. So just gonna go ahead and open her up and see if she's in tune. So start off on the neck pickup. Yeah, it's in tune. It's amazing. This guitar is amazing. So in terms of the aesthetics, the feel to it, it also feels amazing. I love playing with this guitar live. It's a little uncomfortable. It's a little bit less comfortable, I should say, than the Stratocaster in terms of like how it feels up against like your body. But also, I have a bit of a gut, like a dad bod, as they say. And the Strat has like that contoured top to it that, but the Telecaster doesn't. So again, the only thing I've changed on this guitar is the pickups. I've changed it from the standard American, the standard Mexican standard pickups, and changed them out for the Texas Specials. Yeah, so it's a really great guitar, and so it's very, very flat, so it stays in tune very well, and it also gives the bridge more stability, which is where you're going to get a lot of those like those classic Telecaster sounds to it. That's where a lot of like the country guys, when you're playing solos, guitar solos, and you're on a recording, you're gonna really want that stability to your guitar solos in terms of like the sound that comes from like the bridge pickup, which is why I really got this guitar initially, was because again, I only really use, or most of the time I only really use the bridge and the bridge and the neck. So I was like, hey, let me get the Telecaster. It doesn't really sound that much different, but it actually does. So let's start off with the clean tones in the neck position. So this one's way more simple. It's very, very difficult to flip this pickup selector, and that's the other thing I changed this guitar. I changed the like the pickup selector to like, I guess what they call like the top hat. It's really, really nice. It doesn't come off. My old one like just kept falling off, so I replaced it with this one, and it's very hard to move that because it runs perpendicular to the or parallel to the strings, perpendicular to how you would play, not in the same exact like sweep like how it is with the Stratocaster. So although you probably could do it if you were playing like really, really aggressively, but difficult nonetheless to switch it over. At least much more difficult than it is for the Stratocaster. So we'll go again with some clean tones and start off with the neck pickup. And, let's go back with that Santeria chord progression. Ooh, had a pick in there. There we go. So as you can hear, it's a little out of tune, but not bad for 3 weeks. Now switch over to the bridge pickup. So as you could probably start to hear, it's very, very spanky, like crystal clear tone. And so I turned down the volume on it because there's a little bit of overdrive, so that'll cancel it out and give us a clean tone. Again, the same principle that we talked about with the Stratocaster. So you can hear the difference between if you play on the bridge pickup, but over towards the neck, versus over closer to the bridge. Very, Very clear tone, you know? But very also trebly. And I know that's like a thing that a lot of guitar players don't like about the Telecaster is just like how trebly and just how much it pierces. Actually, it doesn't just cut through the mix; it pierces through the mix, which can be a good or bad thing depending on just depending on like the band, depending on how you play it, all that kind of stuff. And again, I have just my amp hooked up to or mic'd up to a SM57, and I've got a Black Star, you know, so nothing crazy. Let's go over to the neck pickup. And so the neck has like really, really beautiful, clean, warm tones to it as well. It's just different than the Stratocaster. And then we'll go over to the middle position and get some tones out of that one. So this one has the neck and the bridge activated at the same time. So again, bridge, middle. You can really hear how those two are blended in there. Now I find for practical uses that the middle position is really good for like when you have tons of reverb and delay on, and you can get a lot of those like really cool ethereal sounds out of it. So let's hear how it sounds with a little bit of overdrive. Middle position. Neck position. So you can see how it's very similar to the Stratocaster, and it has that like uplifted warmth to it. You know, when you're doing all those like double stops kind of stuff. You know, we can go again and do like the. It's just, I think maybe the Strat just has more characteristic to it that the Telecaster doesn't have. And that sound is my dog over here. Yeah, she just had to pay me some company and drink some water. So she's a good girl. She's staying hydrated. Good girl, Boa. Yeah, good girl. All right, yeah. So again, I think if you're going to get these guitars for one reason, for the Fender Stratocaster, it's going to be that neck pickup, especially with a little bit of overdrive. It has a very classic sound to it. For the Telecaster, it's going to be the bridge pickup, especially with a little bit of overdrive to it, because you got like these. It just has a different characteristic to it that the Stratocaster can't get. But again, I also use this the Telecaster on the bridge position. I'm sorry, on the neck position for a very distinct characteristic sound that this thing only really get. Where it's actually like almost like more mechanical sounding than the Strat does. The Strat's like way more warm, whereas this one has more. As you'll probably hear it here, like. And that's from one of my songs called Foosball in Mexico. But all right, yeah. So with that, we'll be wrapping up, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you? I'm sure a lot of for me, I think that you should have both. Like I said, they're both just very. They're both slightly different guitars that do different things very, very well. So, again, for the Strat, it's that neck pickup. Has a really beautiful characteristic to it. Even the bridge pickup it sounds great. Same thing with this guitar. The the neck pickup sounds amazing, but that bridge pickup is just it's something else. It has a different characteristic to it that again the Strat doesn't do. In terms of playability, playing live, I think this one's a little bit safer. It stays in tune better. There's less of a chance of you hitting the pickup selector switch, but the Stratocaster is a little bit more comfortable. It feels more like home, at least to me. And I know that there's a lot of people that this guitar feels like more like home too. So definitely try both of them out and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, again, please like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.